When the apocalypse hit, everyone awakened to power. Some could command water, some could breathe fire. Mine? I could strip the power of anyone named John. 3 years passed and I hadn't met a single John. Instead, I got beaten down and humiliated for being a dead weight. Then one day, while I was digging through trash in the slums, I ran into my childhood friend Clara, begging for scraps. We held each other and wept. Clara wailed, "How is it fair that every other lowlife gets a world-ending power, while all I can do is rename people John?" In that moment, something explodes in my mind. Wait, what did you just say? My blood is boiling. I spin around and grab her hand tight, my voice burning with excitement. After I explain everything, Clara immediately fires back. "So as long as someone's named John, you can strip their power? No catch?" I hesitate. I've never actually used it. I answer carefully. "There is one. The John has to hit me first, then his power is mine. What about yours?" Clara's mouth twitches. "I have to slap someone," she mutters, "and shout the line." Before the words settle, heavy footsteps crash through a puddle, spraying mud across our faces. Bruno strolls over with his lackeys, grinning as he kicks over our cracked pot. Well, isn't this the so-called genius? Digging through leftovers now, huh?" His right leg, awakened as an S-rank sword leg, blazes with a blinding golden light. His lackeys burst out laughing behind him, their jeers bouncing off the narrow alley walls. One of them sneers, "Bruno, this chick used to be the prettiest girl in school. Now she reeks so bad, I wouldn't take her for free." Another jabs a finger at me. "Hey you, what were you mumbling about just now? King of the underworld? More like king of the rats." Then impatiently, "Enough talk. Get on your knees and lick Bruno's boots. Maybe if he's in a good mood, he'll toss you half a moldy bun." Bruno looks down at us with pure contempt. "Get lost or get dead." Clara explodes, throwing every ounce of her strength forward. She roars, "Go to hell!" A sharp crack rings out as her palm connects hard with Bruno's face. She shouts in his face, "Your name is John now!" Bruno's head snaps to the side, half his face swelling instantly. He erupts in fury and tries to roar his own name, but his voice comes out wrong, cracked and hollow. He looks down at the electronic ID tag on his chest in horror. His name is twisting, reshaping itself into John, but there's no time to process it. He charges power into his right leg, golden light surging, and drives a brutal kick straight at Clara's chest. My eyes go wide. I shove Clara out of the way. I take the full force of the kick with my chest. A dull, heavy thud echoes through the alley. It feels like getting hit by a truck. My body hurls backward 3 meters, slamming into a crumbling brick wall. Dust explodes around me. I gasp through the pain. Blood rises in my throat, and I start laughing like a madman. A warm, heavy surge of metallic energy is flooding into both my legs. And Bruno, he drops to his knees with a crash, clutching his legs in terror. "My legs!" he screams as his legendary legs wither before everyone's eyes. The lackeys who were howling with laughter a moment ago go dead silent. They go pale as ghosts, like ducks caught by the throat. I feel the power raging through me like a wild dragon unleashed. I throw my head back and laugh. Clara stares at Bruno crumpled in the mud, then turns to me, and hope lights up her face. She makes a promise, steady and sure. "Ash, I'll make you an endless supply of Johns." I pull her into my arms and declare with everything I've got, "Let's go. I'm taking you to the top." Meanwhile, Bruno lies in the mud like a dead dog, his legs as limp as overcooked noodles. Bruno's lackey Leo drops to his knees and begs, "Please don't kill me. I'll lead the way. I know where supplies are." Leo kneels before me, pressing his forehead so hard into the cold mud, it makes a dull thud. I look down at him, cold and unmoved. "Name, power, talk." Leo shudders and answers in a small voice. "It's Leo, sir. My power is sugar production. Just a small handful a day. I'm completely useless. I only followed Bruno to survive." I raise an eyebrow, smirking inwardly. In an apocalypse starved of energy, refined sugar is as good as gold. Leo looks up, desperate and fervent. "Nobody survives alone out here. You need territory or you're nothing." Just ahead is Black Rock Camp. Their boss controls a gravity field. His fighters are C rank at best. One handles construction, one detects powers. The rest are deadweight. With your ability, taking that place will be easy. I flex my fingers, feeling the metallic energy still humming in my legs. My eyes burn with hunger. "Interesting. Lead the way, Leo. Do well, and you'll always have a place at my table." Leo scrambles to his feet, groveling with a wide grin. "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you." Behind us comes a desperate wail. "Please take me with you!" Bruno is face down in the mud, clinging to my pant leg with both hands, his eyes hollow with despair. He's sobbing so hard his nose is running, tears and mud mixing into something rank and pitiful. I kick his hand away. My voice is flat, like I'm looking at a piece of trash. I don't carry deadweight. I take Clara's hand and walk. I don't look back once. I tell her with a grin, "Come on. Let's go crash their turf." We've barely reached the gates of Black Rock Camp when a sharp, mocking voice cuts through the air. "Well, look who it is, my ex-Ash. Brought your little beggars to scrounge for scraps?" I look up. There's my ex-Lily plastered against Jake like she owns him. He activates his power, partial enlargement. His legs, now a size bigger, stomp deliberately on the stone tiles. Bang, bang, bang. Flaunting that cheap sense of superiority. The alloy rod in Jake's hand shifts and warps, One moment a spike, the next a blunt club. Jake snorts, assuming we're here to beg for membership, and makes no effort to hide his disgust. Lily, we can't let trash like this in. BlackRock has standards. I say nothing. I just pat Clara on the shoulder, my face blank. Clara has been holding back a storm. Now she moves like a blur and delivers 2 sharp slaps, one across each smug face. Clara calls out in a clear, sharp voice, "Your name is John now." The power kicks in immediately. Lily actually points at her own nose and shrieks like a fishwife. "How dare you hit me? Do you know who John is around here?" Before she can even register what she just said, she activates partial enlargement in a rage, swinging her enlarged leg with a howling rush of air, driving it straight into my chest. I smirk. I plant my feet and lean in to meet it head on. Boom. A heavy, dull impact rings out. Lily doesn't even get to smirk. Her face drains white in an instant. She feels her power flooding out of her like a dam has burst. Lily shrieks, "My legs!" Her muscles convulse and shrink with a sickening sound, and those legs she was so proud of shrivel instantly, collapsing into bony, withered sticks. The pain drops her to her knees on the spot. Jake sees this and erupts. So consumed by rage he doesn't even notice the renamed power has hit him too. He roars, "You touched my John's woman! You're dead!" His rod becomes a blade in an instant, a cold flash of steel, tearing through the air straight at my heart. I laugh and charge straight into it. Ability strip, activate, give it all to me. Another dull thud, and the blade sinks like it hit a bottomless void. In the blink of an eye, the weapon in Jake's hand goes limp and gray, a soggy, useless noodle. Jake and Lily scream in unison, "Our powers! How can they be gone?" They shriek and collapse like 2 heaps of wet clay, every drop of color drained from their faces. I crouch down slowly and grab Jake by the head, smiling with zero warmth. "Weren't you so tough? Weren't you so cocky?" I pick up the limp rod from the ground. With a single thought, it shifts and morphs right in my grip. Jake and Lily stare like they've seen a ghost, mouths hanging open. Before they can snap out of it, I'm on my feet. 1 strike each, and they're both out cold. I wave my hand. "Leo, bang on that gate. Tell everyone inside to get out here. Now." Leo's eyes light up. On it, Leo plants himself in front of the gate, hands on his hips. "Listen up in there. The boss has arrived. Smart ones come out and submit." A furious roar erupts from inside. "Who dares make noise at Black Rock?" The iron gate crashes open and dozens of people pour out. Their fierce momentum evaporates the moment they see only 3 of us standing there. They burst into mocking laughter. The one up front sneers. "Seriously? 1 scavenger and 2 beggars?" The scarred man leading them laughs so hard he's nearly in tears. He jabs his finger at me. "Black Rock really doesn't take in trash. But since you've delivered yourselves to our doorstep, who are we to refuse?" I smirk and crack my neck. "Clara, do your thing." Clara grins. "With pleasure." She tears into the crowd like a tiger among sheep, moving so fast she leaves after images. Her hands fly left and right, a rapid-fire string of sharp slaps ringing out one after another. She fires off like a machine gun. "John! John! Your whole family is John." Before anyone can react, the name John blazes bright red above every single head. Then a storm of furious ability strikes hits me all at once, and I don't dodge a single one. Ding! Strip successful. Strip successful. It sounds like coins raining into a vault. Dozens of people crumple to their knees all at once, pale as sheets, as if their spines have been yanked out. I feel the surge of power flooding through me and casually test one of my new acquisitions. The result makes my eye twitch. Out of all these people, only 9 actually had powers. The best of the lot belongs to Scarface. Material assimilation. Whatever his hands touch, he takes on its properties. The rest? Increasingly ridiculous. One could make hair grow at an insane speed, one could conjure a broom out of thin air, and the most absurd, instant nail art on demand. I'm about to write them all off when the last one stops me cold, an ability amplifier. It can boost any power instantly, but the activation condition makes me freeze. It requires eating a handful of sugar. I glance over at Leo, who's wiping sweat off his brow. He freezes too, then breaks into the biggest grin I've ever seen. I flex my fingers, feeling the power practically overflowing. I laugh quietly. Perfect! They were made for each other. Then without warning, the ground cracks open, and a crushing pressure slams down from above. A commanding voice booms out. "Enough!" Black Rock's boss, Rock, steps into view, flanked by 2 powerful fighters. Rock's eyes are cold as ice. "Stripping powers. Cute trick, but under my gravity field, you won't even get the chance to lift a finger." The gravity spikes to 10 times its normal weight in an instant. The stone tiles beneath my feet crack and crumble. My bones groan under the crushing force. But I notice one of Rock's fighters staring at his boss's back, eyes wide with fear. Clara has already ghosted around to Rock's blind side and cracks a hard slap across his face. She looks Rock dead in the eye, voice dripping with mockery. "Impressive gravity field, boss. Too bad your name is John now." Rock doesn't even realize what's happened. Then his gravity field, his greatest weapon, shatters like a soap bubble. Drained of his power all at once, Rock's body gives out. He crashes to his knees before me. The gravity that once crushed everything, now it's crushing him from the inside. Their boss is down in seconds. His 2 fighters go pale as death and bolt. I don't give them the chance. My gravity field snaps open and pins them both to the ground. My voice is ice. Submit or die. 2 options. With his fighters turned, Rock's grip on Black Rock crumbles instantly. I stride into Black Rock camp like I own the place, and immediately my jaw drops. The glittering stronghold, I'd imagine, doesn't exist. There's nothing but peeling walls and desolation as far as the eye can see. I throw an arm around Leo's shoulder, stunned. "Leo, this is Black Rock?" Leo, also here for the first time, looks just as baffled. "How is this any different from the slums?" One of Rock's former fighters gives a tired smile. "Ash, Black Rock has 120 people total, Fewer than 50 have powers. He goes on, a small camp like this survives by pledging to a bigger one above us. Any strong ability user we find, we hand over. Any valuable resources, we hand over. In exchange, we get food. I look at the ordinary people huddled in the shadows, eyes blank and hollow. The excitement drains out of me. Leo steps forward, offering a small handful of freshly produced sugar. His voice is steadier now. Let me gather some information on the surrounding area. Hear me out, then we'll make a plan. Late that night, the noise of Black Rock Camp finally fades. I sit in a bare, dim room, staring at a flickering candle, lost in thought, when the door quietly opens. Clara comes in carrying a bowl of thin rice porridge. She sets it down and sits beside me. Moonlight falls across her face. I reach out and gently take her hands, still a little swollen from all those slaps. You've been through so much because of me, I say quietly. Clara doesn't answer. She just rests her head on my shoulder. I turn to face her and meet those bright, glistening eyes. Ash, I miss when we were kids. Her voice is soft, but there's a tremor underneath it. Her warm breath brushes against my neck. I hold her close. In this broken world, the warmth in my arms is the only thing that feels real. That night, we became something more. And here, in the ruins of the apocalypse, we planted our roots. The very next morning, barely finished eating, a massive explosion shatters the peace. Ash, we've got a problem. The Icefire duo from Frostfire Camp. They're coming. I kick the door open. A wave of bone-chilling cold and scorching heat slams into me at once. The gate is already in pieces. Frost, the elder, master of Arctic freeze. Blaze, the younger wielder of Inferno burst. Over 100 elite fighters stand at their backs, radiating bloodlust. Blaze spits a spark, eyes sweeping over Leo and the trembling civilians. He scoffs. So this is Black Rock's new boss? Pathetic. A camp full of bottom feeders. Frost, look at this place. It's barely fit to be our slaughterhouse. But Frost's gaze locks onto Clara immediately. The cold greed in his eyes is completely undisguised. The territory can wait, but this woman, she's something else. Kid, hand her over and I'll make sure your death is quick. I study the two surging masses of power and narrow my eyes. Clara, looks like you've got an admirer. Clara gives a cold snort. In an instant, all that fierce energy pulls inward and vanishes. What replaces it is the perfect image of a helpless, fragile girl. She shakes off my hand and walks toward the two brothers step by step. Her voice breaks with anguish. Ash, 3 years of picking through trash with you. I can't take it anymore. Frost and Blaze roar with laughter. Now that's a smart woman. Their followers erupt behind them. Whistles, jeers, catcalls filling the air. In their eyes, she's nothing but a pretty prize crawling toward power. The two brothers spread their arms wide, even powering down their abilities, waiting for a beauty to walk into their embrace. The moment Clara steps between them, just as both brothers reach out to grab her shoulders, she drops. Fast as a ghost, Clara shouts, "Your name is John now." Both brothers explode with rage and instinctively reach for their powers to blast her apart. What the? You little? But the rename locks them up. A split second of total mental blank. I throw open my gravity field and charge. Now! I slam myself between Clara and the incoming strike. The moment the ice and fire hit me, my ability strips them clean, not even a flinch. Instead, two streams surge into me, one blazing, one frozen. Impossibly perfect. They don't clash, they merge. The Icefire duo lets out a single, hollow groan of despair, and collapses. They crumple to the ground like two dead dogs. Dead silence falls. Every single one of the 100 elite fighters behind them freezes mid-laugh, expressions locked in place. The only sound left is the soft hiss of ice cracking and flames dying out. One eye, the deputy, steps forward, trembling. Boss, he sees Frost, who could once freeze 100 miles with a gesture, and Blaze, who could burn everything to ash, both crouched in the dirt, drooling, staring blankly, playing in the mud, muttering contentedly, "I'm John. Hey, mud is fun." A terrified cry breaks from the crowd. Their powers, gone. All of it, gone. Panic detonates through the 100-strong force like a plague. Some stumble backward in disbelief, crashing into the people behind them. Some instinctively reach for their powers to fight back. But the moment they meet my gaze, the light in their hands goes out. One fighter can't take the mental collapse. He screams and bolts. Ash eats powers. He's a monster. I drop a gravity field. He hits the ground and stays there. His bones creak under the weight. The fear of a shattered worldview cuts deeper than death itself. They follow the strong to survive. Now their gods are drooling in the dirt. And the man standing before them can do the same to anyone. He is death incarnate. One eye is the first to break. He drops to his knees with a crash. He hits the stone so hard his knees crack against the ground. He tears the Icefire badge from his chest, smashes it underfoot, and screams, "Please, don't kill us! We had no choice! In all of North Rivermark, only you deserve to rule. We'll serve as your workhorses, just let us live!" 100 voices cry out as one. "We serve Ash unto death, we serve our queen unto death." The entire 100-strong force that charged in ready to kill now kneels as one. Foreheads pressed hard into the mud, raising clouds of dust. The awe and terror radiating from their very bones sends a tremor through all of Black Rock. I survey it all with cold eyes. Where there was chaos, there is now only submission. Just then, Leo comes running over from behind the crowd, eyes shining with awe. "Ash, you are absolutely peerless and godlike." At least you've got taste." Leo grins, then leans in close and drops his voice. "Ash, I just checked with Old Walt. These people, they're actually incredibly useful." I narrow my eyes and look up. Old Walt is already approaching. This is the man who served under Rock, the one who can see through anyone's ability at a glance. A rare talent, wasted under someone too spineless to amount to anything. Old Walt smiles warmly. "Ash, most of these powers are non-combat, sure, but plenty of them are incredibly practical. That gets my attention." break it down for me. Old Walt clears his throat. In a world like this, if we want to grow, resources come first, always. I found 2 healers in the group, weak ones but healers. But we have old Chester now, he says, gesturing behind him, the one with the ability amplifier. And you've taken a water-type ability. Clean water is no longer a problem, which leaves food as our main challenge. Black Rock is remote, but we're surrounded by open wasteland, perfect for farming. Among the Icefire Duo's followers, there are ability users who can help with that, and even a builder. Housing problem solved. That's likely how the Icefire Duo built such a large following in the first place. After Old Walt's full rundown, Leo leans in again and murmurs, Ash, we need to keep this quiet for now. Build high walls, store grain, bide your time. Those last words hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. There's something in them that makes ambition ignite and burn. I sweep my hand out and face the surrendered forces. Good. From this moment on, you answer to Leo and Old Walt. Whatever they say, you do. Anyone who resists, all 100 of you go down with them. 100 voices answer as one, yes sir. I crouch down and look at One Eye, who's still trembling. Serve well. I reward loyalty. One Eye kowtows frantically. Yes sir. I swear on my life, never a disloyal thought. With the order given, Black Rock comes alive. The ordinary people who had been hiding in the shadows, waiting to die. They become the most valuable asset of all. A rank 2 Earth-type builder, an old man, raises one hand. The earth surges like a rising dragon, and a 100-meter wall shoots up from flat ground. A wood-type girl sweeps both hands through the air. Vivid green wheat shoots burst through the soil. In under 3 days, the slum is unrecognizable. A water-type ability user channels a fresh spring, washing away years of stench. By the edge of that lush, force-ripened wheat field, Clara stands in a gorgeous gown, arm in mine. She gazes at the skyline rising in the distance. Ash, look, we actually built a city. I watch everyone moving with purpose in the distance, and something shifts in my chest. Word is already spreading. Ability users from outside are starting to show up, wanting in. I call Leo over and speak quietly. Leo, anyone in our ranks who can make clothing? Leo's mind races, but he shakes his head. Not yet, but when we pushed the borders out we found a village. Lots of ordinary people. And we do have ability users who can conjure needles and thread. I say, are you suggesting? I smile and look out toward the horizon. Pass the word, ability user or not. Black Rock takes everyone in. No exceptions. Leo's expression tightens. Ash, everyone, our supplies can't handle that. I turn to face him, voice steady and deep. Leo, remember this. Ability users hold the ground, but only thousands of ordinary people can turn a wasteland into a city. Pass the word, ability user or not. If they're willing to work, Black Rock takes them all. I look to Clara. Your turn. Uniforms, ranks, a code of law for Black Rock. I want this machine running at full force. Clara smiles, radiant, effortless. Relax. Every person walking out of Black Rock City will look like they belong to a real army. 5 months pass in the blink of an eye. Black Rock City has expanded outward by 3 kilometers. The crumbling ruins have been replaced by neat rows of gray brick houses. The air no longer reeks. Instead, a clean, sweet scent of grain drifts through everything. Fertile fields stretch across the land. Irrigation channels crisscross in every direction. Over 1,000 residents, and their faces are no longer blank. They carry the look of people who want to live. One Eye leads the combat force in round-the-clock patrols. Those ability users, who could only conjure brooms or do nail art, under Old Chester's amplifier running at 100 times its normal output. They have become the most productive force in the city. The needle and thread ability users, directed by Clara, can each produce 100 quality uniforms in a single day. I stand on the 100-meter walls and look out over the thriving city I built with my own hands. But in the savage wasteland of the apocalypse, prosperity is its own kind of sin. Black Rock City's growth can no longer be hidden. On the distant horizon, shadows of greed are already beginning to gather. Trouble is coming. But what I don't expect is that the first threat isn't human. It comes from the mountains. All this prosperity looks impossibly fragile before the true ruler of the wild. At dawn, a roar tears straight through the sky and shatters every peaceful dream. The sentry on the wall points toward the northern mountains in terror. What is that? A dark gold streak blazes across the sky, trailing thunder. A beast over 10 meters long, every inch of its body armored in scales the color of dark gold. Most staggering of all, a pair of wings nearly 20 meters wide, folded beneath its flanks. Each feather is layered like a blade of steel. When the wings beat, the air tears apart with a shrieking crack. A rank 4 beast, the golden winged tiger. It circles above Black Rock City, each wing beat unleashing a violent storm of metallic force. Thousands of razor-sharp metal fragments swirl through every gust. The ironwood groves at the base of the walls, dense as steel, are shredded into splinters in seconds. One Eye roars as cold sweat soaks through his back. All forces, alert! Defense force, positions! 2 fighters with flight abilities launch into the air to intercept. The golden winged tiger's golden, slit pupils gleam with the predator's amusement. It lets out a low growl. The alloy spears in both fighters' hands wrench free of their grip in an instant, twist impossibly in midair and shoot back, piercing both fighters into the wall behind them. Leo bursts into the command hall, face drained of color. We can't stop it. It's S rank. My gravity field can't even reach it. I push the door open, movement, expression dark. Clara follows close behind. Outside, the golden-winged tiger dives without restraint, roaring so loud it rattles the walls. It might as well be laughing at the two-legged prey cowering behind their shells. My eyes go sharp. Where's our spirit tamer? Leo kicks open a pile of straw in the back storage room and hauls out a middle-aged man shaking like a leaf. Rex, the one with the rare spirit taming ability, has visibly wet himself. His teeth chatter violently. I can't. It's a king-tier beast. The backlash will kill me. I can't tame something like that. It's godlike. I crouch down slowly and look at him, too spineless to amount to anything. For 5 months, he's had the best rations and the sturdiest shelter, and this is what he delivers when it counts. I say, flat and cold, if you won't use it, there's no point keeping it in you. I wave my hand. The gravity field pins Rex to the spot like a mountain dropped on him. I glance at Clara. In the split second our eyes meet, she knows exactly what to do. Clara moves like a ghost, and under Rex's horrified gaze, delivers one sharp, merciless slap. Clara calls out clearly, "Your name is John now!" The crack echoes across the courtyard. Rex, limp with terror a moment ago, goes rigid as the name takes hold. In the split second Rex is frozen. Clara seizes his arm and swings it across my face. In that instant, Rex's spirit taming ability transfers entirely into me. I roar, "Old Chester, sugar!" Old Chester doesn't hesitate for a single breath. He grabs a massive fistful of premium sugar, shoves it in his mouth, and chews with everything he has. Ability amplifier. Amplifier domain. Full release. And in my mind, the spirit taming energy I just stripped. Under the amplifier's 100-fold boost, it's like 100 million tons of fuel poured into a spark, and it explodes into a sun bright enough to light the entire world. Under 100-fold mental amplification, I no longer see the world through human eyes. I see it as a god would. I can track every twitch of every muscle in the golden-winged tiger far above. I can even sense what burns in the depths of its soul. Wild pride and a vast loneliness. My eyes go bloodshot. That force condensed into a spear of golden light shoots through the void. I roar, "Kneel." The golden-winged tiger lets out a world-shaking roar. Vast wings hurling waves of metal force in a desperate resistance. It cannot understand how from this city of insignificant creatures, something has erupted, a pressure that makes its very soul tremble. I step forward again. The stone floor cracks apart beneath my feet. I roar, "Kneel!" The 100-fold mental shackle clamps around its throat and holds. In that moment, I am the god of everything within 100 miles. I am the master of all living things. The golden-winged tiger lets out a single piercing cry. Those dark gold wings, strong enough to shred steel, go limp, as though snapped in two. Its massive body can no longer hold itself in the sky. It falls, with the weight of a mountain, from the sky. Boom. A massive crater explodes at the city gate, dust billowing in every direction. The dust settles. I walk toward it, one step at a time. It lies in the crater, golden blood seeping through the cracks in its armor. Then, in my mind, a small trembling voice, like a 7-year-old boy, grows clearer. "Hurts. Don't kill. Big Cat will listen." My raised hand goes still. This beast, at the very edge of death, has had its mind forcibly blown open by my 100-fold spirit force. It is no longer a creature of pure instinct. It is a living being with something like human feeling. It inches toward me carefully, and that massive head, large enough to swallow me whole, nuzzles against me like a house cat. Every trace of killing intent is gone. From deep in its throat comes a soft, pleading whimper. I look at it, and something wild rises in my chest. "From today, your name is Goldfang." I vault onto its back and stand on the cold, heavy scales. Goldfang lets out a soft, low rumble. Its golden wings spread wide. Not to fly, but to radiate a dominance that presses down on everything in sight. I look out over all of Black Rock City. The people who were terrified moments ago now look up at me with something close to reverence. I raise my hand, and my voice rolls out like thunder. Pass the order. No one hunts beasts anymore. Any beast that enters the city, Goldfang will bring to heel, and put them to work providing food. One eye and over 1,000 residents erupt into a roar that shakes the sky. Another 5 months pass. Black Rock City is unrecognizable. Outside the walls, the rubble fields that once stretched in every direction have been cleared completely. In their place stand rows of massive, neatly built wooden enclosures. This is Black Rock City's most vital operation, Goldfang Ranch. Leo jogs over, unable to hide the grin on his face. "Ash, today's tribute has arrived." I stand on the high walls and look toward the mountain pass. Dozens of massive mutant boars and mutant sheep are calmly walking in single file, herded by a pack of lower-ranked mutant wolves right into the enclosures. High above, Goldfang's dark gold silhouette drifts in and out of the clouds. Every now and then a short commanding roar echoes down. One eye watches the loaded convoy returning, his expression full of feeling. "Ash, in just 6 months, our food reserves have grown 5-fold. Back in those days, the crew would kill each other over a single expired can of food. Now, every kid in Black Rock City drinks mutant beast milk with every meal. They're built like tanks." I give a slow nod. It's not just the food. The whole system running Black Rock City has finally clicked into place. Clara steps out in a sleek dark combat suit, sharp yet graceful, and comes to stand beside me, watching the thin trails of smoke curl up from the city below. The ordinary folks we took in can now tan beast hides and cure meat like pros. Black Rock City is truly alive and running, and it shows. Thousands of acres of cropland stretch out across the city. Meat is never in short supply. Yet beneath all this hard-won peace, I sense something else. The dead calm before a storm. Leo steps forward, face tight, and hands me a report. "Boss, word's gotten out about us. The Red Claw Brigade up north has heard we've got not just grain, but endless stockpiles of meat. They've started quietly massing their forces. I let out a cold laugh, flicking a spark of ice and fire from my fingertip. I haven't even settled the score with the Red Claw Brigade over those old protection fees, and they couldn't sit still any longer. I look up at the sky. Goldfang seems to feel my killing intent. He dives hard and fast, his massive wings whipping up a violent gust, and lands solidly on top of the city wall. My eyes go cold with killing intent. A sharp smile tugs at the corner of my mouth. 10 months of laying low. It's time for Black Rock City to make its move. Deep in the forbidden zone behind the mountain, Goldfang's massive frame coils among the broken rocks. His dark gold scales shimmer in the moonlight like flowing liquid metal, and those slit pupils, usually full of savage fury, stare at me with something rare, anxiety, and a want to please. I watch his wings beat restlessly and ask quietly, "What's going on?" Goldfang lowers his head, a head big enough to flatten a tank, and lets out a deep rumble from his throat. He opens his massive jaws, but there's no stench of blood, only a rich, clean scent with a sharp metallic edge. His words come out halting and broken, like a child bursting to show off a treasure. "Ash, eat." His mind is awakened, but human speech still doesn't come easy. He suddenly spits out an inner core, walnut-size, blazing gold all the way through. It hovers in midair, steadily drawing in the metal elements all around it, and the scattered rocks nearby begin to tremble, faintly magnetized by its pull. My heart slams in my chest. "This is an inner core." Goldfang nuzzles my shoulder, his eyes clear and pure without a single shadow of doubt. In this broken world, trust is rarer than any ability. I look into Goldfang's clear eyes. No hesitation. I open my mouth and swallow the inner core whole. In an instant, it's like I've swallowed a ball of boiling molten gold. Boom. A terrifying surge of metal energy detonates inside me. The sharpness is absolute, like 10,000 steel needles threading through my very bones. My ice and fire energies sense the intrusion and flare up instantly. Left hand bone-piercing cold, right hand sky-scorching flame. The two forces, once perfectly balanced, begin to tear against each other as the metal ability twists between them. I crash to my knees in agony. The ground shatters beneath me as my gravity field goes haywire. Clara's face strains of color from where she stands. She's about to rush over. I roar to stop her. "Stay back!" I know exactly what this is. The final push through the cocoon. Violent as it is, the metal energy carries a unique conductivity, and guided by that thin thread of Goldfang's primal spirit, the raging ice and fire find a bridge between them. Metal conducts heat, ability conducts force, ice and flame intertwine. Three powers spiral violently at my core, forming a blazing three-colored vortex. My once brittle channels are reforged by the metal energy, hard and tough as alloy pipes. After a long moment, I slowly open my eyes. A flash of gold blazes through my pupils and fades. I raise my right hand. My palm no longer holds just ice and fire. A deep, dark gold radiance flows across it. This power is steadier, sharper, metal ability unlocked before I can even begin to feel it out. A shrieking alarm tears through the night sky over Black Rock City. Leo comes scrambling up the back mountain, voice cracking. "Boss, the Red Claw Brigade is here. They brought 3,000 fighters." I give a cold smirk and pat Goldfang on the head. "Guests have arrived. Let's go greet them." Goldfang throws his head back with a deep, rolling roar, slams his wings open and kicks up a violent metallic storm, launching me straight up into the sky. Outside Black Rock City's gates, flames light up the sky. This is a real fighting force. 3,000 ability users in tight formation, backed by heavily modified war vehicles and radiating a brutal, battle-hardened edge. The man at the front sits in an open-top off-road vehicle, lean and sharp-eyed as a hawk, with visible cyan wind currents coiling around his entire body. Gale bellows with total arrogance. "People of Black Rock City, listen up. Hand over all your meat stockpiles in that ability method, and I'll let every last one of you live." Gale flicks his hand casually, and a wind blade over 3 meters tall slams into Black Rock City's wall, gouging a gash deep enough to see through, then sneers. "Where's Ash? Get out here. When Rock was in charge, I got 3 ability users delivered to me every single month. You swap bosses and suddenly forget how things work." One eye stands on the wall, pale-faced. "Gale, you don't want to mess with our boss. Get out of here while you still can." Gale lets out a wild laugh as the wind around him surges. "Or what? You and this bunch of dirt-playing trash gonna stop me? There's only one voice in North Rivermark and it's mine." My calm voice drops from above, cutting right through Gale's howling wind. "Then how about I send you to meet your maker?" Everyone snaps their heads up in shock. A massive golden shape blocks out the moonlight. I stand on Goldfang's back, looking down at 3,000 armored fighters like a god looking down at insects. Gale's pupils shrink, then a greedy, ugly grin spreads across his face. "An S-rank beast, so the rumors were true. Ash, you actually tamed a golden wing tiger. Hand it over, and I'll cut you in on the throne of North Rivermark." I leap off Goldfang's back and fire back. "You think you're worth it?" My gravity field kicks in mid-fall. Boom! I slam into the ground 10 meters from Gale, punching a crater 3 meters deep into the earth. I dust off my pants and look at him with a smirk. "Gale, since you want a tribute so badly, let me give you one." My tone pushes Gale completely over the edge. He claws the air with both hands, and the pressure drops for 100 meters in every direction. "You're dead!" the storm screams. Countless wind blades burst into streams of cyan light, and come shrieking from every direction, like they're tearing the air itself apart. This is an A-rank fighter going all out, blades vicious, speed like lightning. 5 months ago, this might have given me trouble. Not now. I growl one word. Clara. Moving like electricity, she cuts into the battlefield in an instant. She doesn't even glance at the lethal blades. She slips through Gale's defense with pinpoint precision, her slender hand tracing a graceful arc through the gaps in the storm. Smack. One crisp slap, cutting through the roaring wind like a thunderclap. Clara snaps in a sharp commanding voice. Your name is John now. Gale freezes. The name takes hold, and for just one instant his hurricane stalls. In that split second, Clara seizes Gale's right arm, the one loaded with wind energy, and whips it across my face. Smack. No pain at all. Instead, a rush of satisfaction I've never felt before. I let out a wild laugh as the three-colored vortex inside me spins into overdrive. Give it all to me! The wind ability inside Gale responds like it's been pulled by a black hole, pouring wildly out through the mark left by that slap. His body visibly shrivels before our eyes. The savage howling storm becomes a gentle breeze, and then nothing. Gale lets out a wretched shriek. No! My ability! This can't be happening! I feel the new wind ability seed taking root inside me. Guided by the metal ability, it slots into my system like it was always meant to be there. Gale collapses, face white as ash, and behind him, all 3,000 of his elite fighters stand there in stunned silence. They watch their once untouchable boss drooling like an idiot, crouched on the ground with a blank stare, pointing at a pile of dirt and giggling like a fool. I'm John. Panicked murmurs ripple through the army. The boss is finished. He was a rank, and one slap took him out. I step forward. Three-colored light flows around me. I raise my hand. A storm of metal-edge sharpness and ice-fire explosion erupts from nowhere, slicing one of the Red Claw Brigade's tanks into pieces. I sweep my gaze across 3,000 fighters. Anyone else want a lesson? Gale's strategist drops to his knees, sobbing and sniveling. Boss, please, just let us go. We had no choice. It was the Holy Dominion in the city center that sent us here. Don't kill us. We can't stand up to the Holy Dominion. A cold glint crosses my eyes. But these fighters are genuinely stronger than what we've faced before. I bark out loud. Leo, strip their gear and bring them inside. Show them some hospitality. Orders given, I turn to Gale's strategist. Follow me. In the dim back room of the city lord's manor, Gale's advisor, a gaunt man they call the Old Fox, stands before me, trembling, not even daring to meet my eyes. The Old Fox wipes the cold sweat from his brow and says in a shaky voice, Boss, the Holy Dominion is nothing like the Red Claw Brigade. They're not some ragtag outfit, he adds, still rattled. They've taken over Rivermark's pre-war weapons factories. They've got heavy artillery that's never rusted, crates full of single-soldier missiles, and even a semi-automated research line dedicated to developing ability enhancement serums. I run my fingers over the fine edge of light flowing at my fingertips. Get to the point. Their leader, the Old Fox swallows hard and continues, is shrouded in mystery. He calls himself the Pope of Rivermark, S rank. His ability is time flow control, one of the most forbidden there is. Within 100 meters of him, bullets move slower than a snail, and his 1 second can become 10 seconds for everyone else. My eyes narrow. What's his name? The Old Fox answers. He hates anyone saying it out loud, but in the internal files, his real name is registered as John. I go still for a moment. Then I burst out laughing. A laugh that carries something almost absurdly faded about it. I turn to Clara, standing guard at the door. John, another John. Looks like this so-called Pope's holy power is destined to end right here with me. Over the next 3 days, Black Rock City doesn't fall into panic over the Holy Dominion's threat. Instead, it pulses with a kind of life that's rare in this shattered world. My orders go out, no forced labor, no rank-based rations. Not only is meat fully covered, people can even collect new clothes made under Clara's personal supervision, and clean water. In the mornings, the wheat fields inside the city ripple with green under the care of nature ability users. The air no longer carries the stench of rot, just the faint sweetness of grain. The elderly sit in the shade mending fishing nets. Children chase each other and play to the sound of Goldfang's gentle rumbling. He has somehow become the city's most beloved big cat, retracting all his golden spines, letting the kids roll and tumble across his broad back. Leo walks up to the wall and hands me a freshly washed apple, saying warmly, Boss, all 3,000 Red Claw Brigade surrenders have been folded into One Eye's guard. Once they saw what we have here, real food, real order, every single one of them went ride or die loyal. Anyone who badmouths Black Rock City, these guys are the first ones to throw down. This kind of fairness and peace is an almost impossible luxury in a world where people devour each other. I look down at the city beneath my feet, and the need to protect it burns stronger than ever. But I haven't been idle. These 3 days, I've been pushing hard to absorb the wind ability I stripped from Gale. With the inner core's boost, 4 abilities, ice, fire, metal, wind, have formed a perfect closed loop inside me. I can drive a blizzard through a storm, or wrap molten metal around a wall of flame. My body right now is the deadliest weapon in all of Rivermark. But what surprises me most is Clara. As I've grown, she hasn't fallen behind. Her own strength multiplied each time she used the name ability. And while she has no destructive power of her own, her physical strength has reached something inhuman. On the evening of the 3rd day, the sun bleeds red across the sky. The 100-meter wall casts a long, narrow shadow across the earth. Boom. Clear skies, but a crack of thunder erupts from nowhere. On the horizon outside Black Rock City, a dark tide of steel advances slowly forward, the Holy Dominion's vanguard. Every soldier in matching camouflage combat gear, gripping EMP rifles that glow blue. A figure steps slowly out from the formation. Every step he takes scorches the ground beneath him to black ash. He's shirtless, a vicious single eye tattooed across his chest. Lightning arcs crawling over his body with a constant crackling pop. The Holy Dominion's vanguard commander, A-rank lightning ability user. Fang! His voice hits like a thunderclap, shaking dust loose from the city wall. Ash, come receive a decree. By the Pope's holy order, Blackrock City has defied the Dominion and harbored an S-rank beast. You will sever your own 4 limbs and surrender the golden-winged tiger. Fail to comply, and the thunder will grind this city to dust. He thrusts his hand upward, and a bolt of lightning as thick as a barrel crashes down into the moat outside Blackrock City, vaporizing the water in an instant, the lightning carving a 100-meter trench into the ground. The guards on the wall break into panicked commotion. This lightning power is many times more savage than anything Gale threw at us. I stand at the top of the wall, watching the arrogant display below with cool contempt. Fang, fitting name. Shame though, I'll be taking the Holy Dominion's first gift. I glance sideways. Clara has already changed into a fitted combat suit, sharp and striking, her hair pinned back, a bright smile aimed at me. Ash, let's switch it up this time. Show him what real thunder actually feels like. I give Goldfang a pat on the head. Goldfang lets out a roar that shakes the mountains, slams his wings down and launches me straight into the sky, like a golden bolt of lightning slicing through a sea of blue-violet thunder. Fang roars and claps both arms together. You're asking for death. Storm of ruin. Hundreds of lightning orbs burst into savage electric serpents firing from every angle. At that moment, a hulking, grim-faced man at Fang's side moves too, his second-in-command, an A-rank Earth ability user, who slams both palms into the ground and roars, Ash, get down here! The earth shudders and rumbles, the space beneath my feet goes crushingly heavy, and countless sharp earth spears burst up from the ground, combining with the lightning above to form an airtight kill zone. I smirk. That's all you've got? No flashy moves needed. I simply raise my right hand and press down. 100 times gravity crush. A weight beyond description slams down like a falling meteor. The churning sand compresses instantly into ground harder than steel. The earth spears shatter to dust. The earth ability user doesn't even have time to scream. The gravity drives his entire body straight into the ground, leaving only his head sticking out, spitting blood. Fang sees it and his eyes go wide with fury. But before he can react, Clara moves, threading through the gaps of the lightning like a flash of light, while every soldier watches in horror and Fang's furious howl fills the air. Her palm arrives right on time. Smack, smack. 2 sharp cracks ring out, shockingly loud in the crushed silence of the gravity field. Clara calls out in a sharp, clear voice, "Your name is John now." The name hits, and the raging lightning dies instantly. I move in, gripping both their hands, one in each of mine. I'm about to strip them when alarm bells go off in my head. A strange green light flickers in Fang's eyes. Thin vines begin pushing out from beneath his scorched skin, carrying with them a burst of overwhelming vitality. My eyes narrow. Dual abilities. Fang's been hiding a nature ability this whole time. Lightning destroys. Nature restores. No wonder he came in so confident. Too bad. Against the name John, every hidden card is a joke. I growl, low and steady. All of it. Give it to me. A blaze of violet light erupts upward. The fury of lightning, the weight of earth, the life force of nature. 3 massive streams of energy roar into me through my palms. Fang and his second-in-command crumple like wet rags in the crater, drooling like idiots. I'm John. Heh. Play in the dirt. Hundreds of the Holy Dominion's best soldiers stare at the scene, and EMP rifles drop to the ground one by one. One eye charges up with his blade and asks, should I finish them all off? I look at the trembling soldiers, then toward the heart of Rivermark in the distance, and a slow, knowing smile spreads across my face. I wave my hand. A gust of wind sweeps several kneeling soldiers back 100 meters. Crawl back and tell John. Ash of Blackrock City is waiting. Tell him to come himself. The broken remnants scramble and crawl toward the horizon. Over the next 3 days, Blackrock City holds steady. None of the chaos anyone expected. Old Chester pushes the construction hard. Leo locks down the supply lines. Under Goldfang's watchful patrol, the people reinforce the defenses with calm efficiency. I know. The final battle is close. A sleek black luxury vehicle appears on the horizon, followed by hundreds of heavy tanks. The kind of obscene excess that has no place in this broken world. The entrance of Rivermark's strongest. The Pope, John. He steps out of the vehicle, unhurried, an antique pocket watch turning between his fingers, his gaze deep and bottomless as he speaks with cold authority. Ash, killing Fang was impressive, I'll give you that. With every step John takes, everything around him begins to slow to a crawl. In his domain, the wind freezes midair. On the wall, the horrified expressions of the soldiers are stretched into an endless moment. Even the dust motes in the air have nearly stopped. This is what S-rank absolute control looks like. He walks through frozen time like a god surveying his domain. He walks straight up to me, watches me stand there stiff as a statue, and sneers, "What exactly are you going to fight me with?" He looks at me with open contempt. The custom dagger in his hand pulses with a deep red glow, and he drives it hard into my chest. Thud, straight through the heart. But just as John moves to pull it out, he finds the blood that should have sprayed out hasn't frozen with the rest of time. Instead, it crawls up the blade and onto his arm like it has a will of its own. The corners of my mouth, frozen a moment ago, split into a wild, unhinged grin. John, you're too arrogant. You think time freezes everything, but you can't stop my ability strip. John's face goes white. What? He watches in horror, as the pocket watch in his hand, the symbol of his divine authority, begins spinning wildly backward. The vast, river-like flow of time energy inside him pours along the blade of the dagger, and becomes a silver dragon, roaring as it slams into my chest. John lets out a wretched scream. No, this is impossible. Stop it now. He desperately tries to trigger a time-speed burst to escape, but my hands lock onto both his arms like iron clamps. 5-element energy rages through him, forcibly tearing apart every layer of his ability defense. My eyes go bloodshot, my voice grinding out low and rough like something out of a nightmare. Your time. It belongs to me now. 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds. This unstoppable pope withers before every watching eye, his skin drying out in an instant, his black hair crumbling to ash, and in a series of grim cracking sounds, he becomes a white-haired, broken wreck who can't even hold his spine straight. I yank the dagger out, and the hole in my chest seals shut in a wash of time reversal light, even my torn clothes restored as if nothing happened. John sags to the ground, a hollow wheeze leaking from his mouth. I look down at him, eyes cold as stone. John, thanks for the gift. I turn away. Silver light, terrifying and beautiful, flows across my palm. Behind me, Goldfang rears up with a thundering roar. I look out over the vast tank army, so frightened they've forgotten how to pull a trigger, and declare without a shred of doubt, Rivermark has a new master. John's fall shatters the Holy Dominion's so-called divine authority on the spot. I waste no time. I give the remnants no chance to breathe. The moment those 1,000 elite fighters switch sides, I put the newly taken time flow control to use, leading the charge straight into the ruins at the heart of Rivermark. I move at blinding speed, the time acceleration pushing everything further, and what would have taken days is finished and settled within a few hours. The power broker's hidden underground weapons vaults are smashed open by Goldfang with a single swipe. Long-sealed precision machinery is lifted out smoothly by my gravity field. Bulk loads of special alloys and enough EMP rifles to arm an entire city, all swept back to Black Rock City like a moving house. Leo looks at what was once a thriving city center and hesitates. Boss, some of these downtown towers, with a bit of work, people could actually live in them. I stand at the highest point of the wall and don't look back. Downtown is the wreckage of civilization, the best grave it'll ever be. Land, farmland, and heavy industry. That's the only way to survive in a dead world. Over these 5 months, Black Rock City has become a high-efficiency war machine. I break apart the 1,000 new elites and mix them in with the original crew, running the tightest military discipline imaginable. But what I give back is just as extreme. Here, exo armor isn't just for the elite. If you're tough enough and willing to put in the work, everyone gets top-tier gear. Black Rock City's factory chimneys pump out thick smoke, the smoke of rebuilding. Vast fields of crops are pushed to full harvest in just 5 days under time flow acceleration. Technology. After absorbing the Holy Dominion's full foundation, in some areas, it has quietly crept past pre-disaster levels. I look down at the army taking shape beneath me, every soldier equipped with EMP weapons, and the corner of my mouth curves up. The calm shatters in the 5th month. A pitch-black spatial rift tears itself open in the sky above Black Rock City. A figure steps through with total arrogance, space warping and collapsing around him, as though even light is being swallowed into an abyss. Void roars, Ash, you killed my closest ally John, you destroyed the foundation I built. Today, I'll bury your entire city with you. This is Void, the space ability powerhouse, just out of closed-door training. Behind him, tens of thousands of private soldiers pour in through spatial portals, and heavy artillery locks onto Black Rock City in an instant. Clara's brow furrows as she feels the crushing spatial pressure rolling off him. She says quietly, Ash, he's space ability. A straight fight will wreck everything we've built. I've got a plan. Fake a surrender. Clara catches on immediately. I order a full ceasefire, call Goldfang back, and walk out through the city gates with Clara at my side, my face arranged into exactly the right look of fear and defeat. I call out with practiced respect, Lord Void, your power is beyond us. I offer up Black Rock City. I only ask for our lives. Void is pleased by my compliance. He drops down with a cold snort, teleports right in front of us, eyes burning with hate. You little punk. Today, I'll crush you with my own hands. You'll follow my friend to the grave. But the words are barely out of his mouth when Clara whips a slap across his face, snapping at him. You little punk, your name is John now. Void goes blank, instinctively covering his cheek, but a split second later, killing intent explodes in his eyes. A space-shredding field snaps around me and Clara. He roars, my name is... The words die in his throat. Void's face goes pale. He finds in horror that the power inside him is draining away like a tide pulling back from shore, and the space he commands so perfectly has turned and begun eating him alive. Void screams in disbelief. My ability. Ash, what did you do to me? I let a cold, satisfied smile show. John, you walked right into it. Clara's mouth curves into a wicked grin. Right now, as the last of Void's power drains out, I throw my arms wide and the final trace of space's primal law is wrenched inside me. The moment time and space converge inside me, the 5 elemental forces that had been dormant ignite all at once. This is the breaking point. Time is the warp, space as the weft, weaving a domain that belongs only to me. The humiliating condition that used to require me to take a hit, gone. My ability strip has officially reached God tier. In the very instant of my breakthrough, the soul bond between me and Clara resonates with a violent surge. Clara lets out a sudden quiet gasp, and a blaze of violet gold divine light shines from her belly. Too bright to look at directly, a life force, terrifying and noble beyond words. She is carrying my child. That unborn life has inherited the god-tier genes I just unlocked, the bloodline pouring back through the bond into Clara's body, her eyes blazing with a sudden, holy golden glow. Half a minute later, the once unstoppable space ability overlord Void lies on the ground like a heap of mud. He finds in terror that he hasn't just lost his ability. Even the name Void has been erased from him entirely. He is nothing now but a powerless, ordinary man named John. I open my eyes slowly. I feel the chaotic force of 7 merged laws inside me. I rest my hand gently on Clara's belly. This child, when born, will be the god of this broken world. Clara gives a sly wink and glances at the tens of thousands of soldiers who have collapsed in terror, saying, "Ash, looks like we're done scraping by in the gutter. Any powerful fool who dares to defy us, I'll name them all John and they can fuel our son's growth." I let out a long, open laugh, take Clara's hand, and look out over this chaotic, upended world with all the confidence in existence. Pass the word. Rivermark's old order is finished. Stand with me and thrive. Stand against me. Get a new name and a grave. Cold. A cold that goes straight to the bone. Cold enough to crack a soul. The last light of the dying sun falls on a corner of the dump, where a body lies stiff and still. Ash. He is nothing but skin and bone, curled in filthy, stagnant water. Arms wrapped tightly around half a maggot-ridden, moldy bun. On his face, a strange, deeply satisfied smile, as if in his final moments he truly had the whole world. A woman stumbles over, face caked with grime, hair wild and matted, and the moment she sees his face, she lets out a scream that could split the night open. "Ash! Ash, wake up, please wake up!" She drops to her knees in the mud and shakes his cold, still body with everything she has, tears cutting 2 pale tracks down her filthy face. She breaks completely. "I found food. I fought so hard to get it. Just take one bite, please. It's me, it's Clara. Open your eyes and look at me. It's Clara." The cold wind gives nothing back. In this real world, where there are no abilities, no miracles, only endless hunger and despair, Ash never got to eat.